A highly capable gaming phone with a powerful processor, stunning display, massive battery with wireless charging, decent camera system, and aesthetically pleasing design with fancy LED lighting for just under 20,000 Philippine pesos? Sign me up! I'm talking about the Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G. I cannot believe this smartphone is just around 15,000 to 17,000 Philippine pesos at this time of making this video for everything it has to offer. And dare I say, I'm super impressed. Here, let me share with you all my thoughts. Let's get into it. As always, honest disclaimer, this video is not paid, but Tecno Philippines sent a review sample for me to share with you my honest experience. They will not see this video or even my script prior to release. Now, let me pop the complete specifications on the screen so that you can have a bit of an idea what to expect on this phone. Now, let's start with the design and construction, as I feel like this is something that a lot of younger generation or even young at heart will definitely appreciate. You see, it features a sort of futuristic kind of vibe with transparent back showcasing polygonal cutouts and visible screws, and an LED lighting around the camera system. Though I feel like the screws are not real, but you get the idea. And it goes without saying that fingerprints are definitely going to be visible here. Now, speaking of the LED lighting, it's actually functional for things like notifications, ringtones, timer, charging, volume adjustment, or simply let it animate using the home screen widget. Now, looking at the side, it features flat sides, curved corners, and a fairly slim profile at 8.87mm, which is quite decent considering it has a massive 6,000 mAh battery. It's also not that heavy at 203 grams as per my own testing. On this side, we have the volume rocker and the power button with an orange accent. And then up top, we have the secondary speaker and an infrared sensor. How about that in 2025? I know, right? At the bottom, we have the primary speaker, the USB-C port, the primary microphone, and the SIM card tray. No SD card slot, unfortunately. Now, in front, we have a 6.67-inch 1.5K AMOLED display with up to 144Hz refresh rate, 4500 peak brightness, and 460 pixels per inch density, resulting in crispy and detailed image quality. As you can tell, the colors are quite vibrant with decent contrast levels and good viewing angles. The typical brightness is 1600 nits, picking up to 4500 when used outdoors or in bright environments. What's even better about this is that it is capable of up to 144Hz depending on application support, but for the most part, it can run smoothly at 120Hz. It's not LTPO though, which means it cannot go all the way down to 1Hz and only switches between 60, 120, and 144Hz. You can also switch between these two resolutions depending on your preference and priority. Also, here in front, we have an in-display fingerprint sensor that is snappy and accurate, especially when you press the power button first. Now, as I alluded to earlier, this smartphone features stereo speakers, which I would say are fairly decent, can get substantially loud, and has a good enough low end. Here's a quick sound test for you guys. Have you ever wanted an ultra slim low profile keyboard but don't want to spend over $100 for it? Well, I've got you covered. What we have here is the Morgree Air 68, a decent looking and sounding ultra slim low profile mechanical keyboard.
And if I took a chance, it's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow, I think I'll chew it.
Now, in terms of the user interface, we have the iOS based on Android 15, and as you can tell, it features the same futuristic kind of vibe with custom widgets and icons, but still feels really smooth and lightweight. It doesn't have much pre-installed applications aside from the Tecno apps and some suggestions. It feels quite minimal on the surface, but actually has a ton of features hidden up its sleeve. So aside from the fancy LED lighting, it also has an infrared remote, which I use for my speakers and TV, and a bunch of AI features like Ella Voice, which is Tecno's version of an AI assistant. We also have Ella Smart Touch for extracting screen info, call assistant, translation assistant, and a lot more. This means you no longer have to download third-party applications or use browser-based AI tools if you're into AI. It can even turn me into an OPA. Aside from the AI features, we also have special functions which is tailored more for productivity. For starters, we have dynamic port, which I'm not gonna lie, looks very familiar if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it displays helpful information for supported applications. We also have floating windows, split screen, a smart panel that you can access from the side, and a lot more. So yeah, for a phone targeted towards gaming, it's actually super versatile. Now moving on to what matters the most in terms of performance, powered by a capable MediaTek Dimensity 8350 Ultimate 5G processor with a Mali G615 MC6 GPU, 12GB of RAM that you can extend up to 24GB, taking advantage of available space from the 256GB internal storage. The Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G is a beast at its price point. My sample scored 1,447,762 in Antutu benchmark and feels really smooth browsing through the user interface, opening multiple apps, watching videos, and of course, for gaming. But before we dive into that, here are the rest of the benchmarks that I ran on the Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G. Now, what I like even more about this phone is the fact that we have an extensive game assistant that you can pull from the side. We have power management here with a tiny FPS counter, a customizable shortcut panel, a ton of gaming-centric tools including touch optimization depending on the type of game, network enhancement, and we even have a built-in voice changer, game filters, tilt controls, and a magic button, adding the sensors and volume buttons as an extra input. As for the actual gaming performance, I'm happy to say that it supports up to 120 FPS on most capable games, including PUBG Mobile and Honor of Kings. The Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G is actually the #1 official gaming phone of the Philippine National Esports Team CBOL, PMNC Philippines, and HOK PKL 2025, and also the official gaming phone of PMSL Southeast Asia, so rest assured that this phone is optimized for these games. In PUBG Mobile, I'm getting around 118 to 120 FPS, and it really feels smooth, responsive, and stable. Same case on Honor of Kings, around 119 to 120 FPS, even during clashes and ultimates. In Call of Duty Mobile, I'm getting a solid 90 FPS, which is really nice for competitive matches. And in Wuthering Waves, I was able to set it to maximum quality settings and 60 FPS, and getting around 58 to 60 FPS, which is quite solid for the image quality I'm getting. In more demanding games like Genshin Impact, I had to keep the default medium settings, change it to 60 FPS, and turn off motion blur. With this, I'm getting 51 to 60 FPS, which is still pretty decent. I just wish the FPS counter is an overlay that's always visible while you play to be able to monitor your frame rates in real time. But yeah, at this price point, the Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G can definitely present itself as a compelling option, providing a good set of gaming features backed by highly capable hardware. As for the battery life, with a substantial 6,000 mAh capacity, it lasted around 10 hours and 31 minutes in my usual PCMark Quirk 3.0 battery life benchmark with 50% volume and brightness, which is good enough to last you the entire day. I was also able to charge it with up to 70 watts charging speed from 10% to 100% for only an hour. And yes, did I mention, it also features 30 watts wireless charging with an option to attach a magnetic case and fancy covers, a perfect partner for this magnetic power bank. Now, while this phone is tailored more towards mobile gaming, Tecno didn't leave the camera system behind. They still generously included at least a 108MP main camera, an 8MP ultra-wide-angle camera, and a 13MP selfie camera. I brought this on our recent trip to Pililla, Rizal, and I would say, while the photos are quite inconsistent in terms of colors, image processing, and overall image quality across all the camera modules, given the massive difference in megapixel count and of course the sensors, the images still turned out fairly decent, especially the ones taken using the 108MP main camera. So I'll probably stick to that every single time. The ultra-wide looks noticeably over-sharpened. The telephoto in-sensor zoom is okay, but noticeably compensated, while the main camera offers a more natural-looking image both in terms of sharpness, colors, and dynamic range. So yeah. Oh, I like the portrait mode. As you can tell, it is capable of producing decent and natural-looking background separation. Now, the 13MP selfie camera is also quite decent, producing pleasing selfies with fairly natural skin tone, if not a bit on the warmer side. And well, it struggles a bit when it comes to edge detection, like most smartphones anyway. Overall, to conclude, there's nothing much to complain about the Tecno POVA 7 Ultra 5G. I really like its value proposition, clearly targeting mobile gamers and offering a ton of gaming features backed by capable hardware specifications and guaranteed high frame rate support for popular titles while maintaining a competitive price. And not only that, they've even squeezed in a slew of productivity features, a fancy, aesthetically appealing design, decent display, and long battery life that might seal the deal for some. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Tecno Philippines for sending this in. This is actually my first Tecno product review and I'm super impressed by the overall value. If you're interested in grabbing this phone and you also want to support the channel, please consider using my affiliate link below. Now, since this phone has been out for a while already locally here in the Philippines, I'm not sure if you'll still get the same freebies like the power bank, the optional covers, and a Dito SIM. So kindly check it where you plan to get it. What I'm sure though is that you can get this for only 13,599 Philippine pesos with SPay later at select Tecno retail stores from September 1 to 30, 2025. So again, check the links below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day guys, you're awesome.